Hi, hi, hi. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you, and thank you for joining. Can you please let me know what part of the world you're joining and listening to this conversation from? Please talk to me. What part of the world are you listening to this conversation from? If you have any friend who should be here who is in an emotionally flustered relationship or is separated or is divorced, please tell them to join. So, talk to me. What part of the world are you listening to this conversation from? I am in Dallas, Texas. That's the USA. I see people from Nigeria in the house. Thank you for joining. I see United Kingdom in the house. Thank you for joining. What part of the world are you listening to this conversation from? Welcome all the gentlemen and the ladies, professionals, executives, parents, couples, everybody showing up. Good to see you. Good to see you. I see Nigeria in the house. I see UK in the house. I see US in the house. Your midday is in Atlanta. So talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. If you have any friend who should be here, please tag them, let them know that this conversation is about to happen. So let's talk to everyone who is in a painful relationship, who is separated and divorced. Oh, in Lola, I see you. I see all of you. Please tag your friends, tag anybody that you know should be here. Say to them, let us have that conversation about separation, about a divorce, and about being in a painful relationship. So let's do it. 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 So let's talk. One of the most painful things that can happen to a human being is for you to think that your relationship or marriage will last forever, and it is not lasting forever. And that simply means that every relationship ends in two ways. The first is through death, the second through a divorce. The first, everybody actually knows that it is till death do us part, but not everybody is aware that the second is also feasible, knowing fully well that 56% of first-time marriages end in a divorce. 56%. And when we say end in a divorce, those are people who chose to go their separate ways. There are some who are divorced but who are still living together, meaning somewhere along the line they just want to manage the relationship. They want to stay there because of shame and because of blame. So they just stay. They stay for themselves, they stay for the children, they stay for money, they stay for papers, which will be legal papers or documentation. They stay for anything. So 56% will say, I'm done, I need to leave, I'm not interested in this relationship anymore. But the other set of people may decide to manage while some are happily married. So today I am talking to people who are in, number one, a painful relationship. And what that means is you are still deciding whether to stay or whether to leave, and you are not happy there. This can happen to a man, this can happen to a woman, this can happen to anybody, where you are in a relationship that drains you, that fumigates your peace and your joy and makes you unhappy. Now, there are options in that relationship to, number one, see a marriage therapist if both of you are choosing to make it work, and if both of you say, you know what, let's give this a shot. There are marriage therapists and counselors available that you can work with. And the other option will be you saying, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Can be tied to emotional abuse, can be tied to domestic abuse, can be tied to financial control, and so many other things. So if you are in a painful relationship or if you are separated, And if you are divorced, this conversation is for you. And the major conversation is that when people are in painful relationships, there are two guests that show up at every time. When people are in painful relationships, there are two people that keep talking to them, that keep getting their attention, that keep trying, to ensure that they're in conversations with them. These two people, you don't have to talk to them every time or even, say you are in touch with them. But the truth about it is, whether you talk to them or not, they are always in your face. They are everywhere around you. They remind you that this is what is going on with you. So if you are in a relationship that you are unhappy with, two permanent guests that you will deal with, except you are intentional and you are aware of both of them, will be blame and shame. When people are in painful relationships, they first of all blame themselves for their discretion. They say to themselves, I'm not as wise as I thought I was. I'm not as intelligent as I thought I was. I made this bad decision. I can't trust myself anymore. I see you, Mama B. That's Madam Emotions. I can't trust myself anymore. And that spirit of blame and shame is that spirit that strips you of dignity. And if you followed me repeatedly, you would know that I have an agenda against blame. I have an agenda against shame. I have an agenda against anything that will strip you of dignity. I am against it with everything within me. So when you are in a painful relationship, or you are separated, or you are divorced, two permanent guests you need to pay attention to are shame and blame. Shame and blame will wake up with you every day. Shame and blame will be in the bathroom with you every day. They would be in the kitchen with you. They would be in the car with you when you're driving or you are being driven. They will be at work with you. They will be with you when you go for your PTA meetings with your children. They will be with you every time family gathers. They will be with you every time your old association back at college or high school are meeting. They will be with you every time, because the agenda of shame and blame in a relationship that is not working is to strip you of dignity. And when you are not aware of something, you become susceptible to that thing. You become vulnerable to that thing. So if you are listening to me today, you are in a relationship that you are unhappy with, or you are in a relationship that you are unhappy in, while you are trying to see a marriage therapist, be conscious of the voice of shame and be conscious of the voice of blame. Shame and blame will show up to the point where it would affect your performance at work. It will affect your productivity at work. It would affect your bottom line. It would affect how you think. It would affect how you see yourself. It would affect everything. Shame and blame are capable of pushing you to emotional eating. They will just ensure that it will become one of your coping mechanisms. Shame and blame can make you start messing around, start confiding in alcohol, or start, taking so many drugs and medication. Now, if you are in a painful relationship, I need you to know that you're already in that relationship. And there are two options: to either make it work or to leave. And the truth about it is that you can't make it work alone. You cannot make a relationship function or work alone. For a relationship to work, both parties must be interested in making it work. A woman cannot build a house a man is committed to destroy. A woman cannot build a house a man is committed to destroy. And a man also cannot lead in a house that is not serving or submitting. Leadership is submission. Leadership is you taking the back spot and saying, how can I be of use to my wife and to my children? Leadership is not you crossing your legs and screaming, I am the man of the house, I am that I am. We know that already. Leadership is you saying that you want to serve your family members. So when a relationship is not working, there are two options there: to make it work or to exit. And for it to work, both parties must be committed to it. Both parties must be on board with it. If one person is not interested, the relationship will most likely not work. That is the reason why it is unkind to stigmatize anybody who has experienced a separation or a divorce, because there are so many things that are not within their power. There are so many things that are not within their power. So if you are in a painful relationship, or if your relationship has failed, the voices of shame and blame are voices you must consistently extinguish. You must consistently identify so that you don't empower those voices. Because once you empower the voice of shame and the voice of blame, you are going to strip yourself of your dignity. You are going to say to yourself, I am not good enough. I am not who I think I am. And at every point in time, you will suspect yourself. You will sabotage yourself. And at every point in time, you will think that you are not real because your relationship failed. The truth about this is, it is a relationship that failed. You failed at a relationship. You are not a failure. There are two different things. Failure is an event. Failure is not a person. You failed at a relationship. You are not a failure. All of us fail at things. We fail at businesses. We fail at relationships. We fail at everything that we do. As long as you're human, you will fail. So if your relationship is failing or has failed, you failed at a relationship. You are not a failure. Failure is an event. It is not a person. So you are not going to embody failure. You are not going to say, I am a failure. No, you are not a failure. You simply failed at your relationship. And 56% of all first marriages will end in a divorce. It is there for data. It is there for statistics. And that is more than half. So if you failed at your relationship, you are not a failure. Pick a second chance form by reminding the voice of blame and the voice of shame that you still have to defend your existence on earth. It can happen to anybody. Only a fool will say something can never happen to me. If you are wise, you know that it can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. You can be so committed to something and somebody else is so committed to frustrate what you're committed to. I will say that again. You can be so committed to a relationship and somebody else is so committed to frustrate what you are committed to. So it can happen to anybody. Some people can wake up today and say, you know what, I'm switching from monogamy to polyamory. And it is what it is. That's why some people cheat. Some people can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm no longer interested in doing this. I just want to live my life. Baby boy or baby girl life. Okay, I mean, I see you. I've missed you. You okay? Let me know. Please send me a DM. You okay? You good? So, if you're in a relationship that is failing or has failed, there are two options. Number one, to try and make it work. But if you're already divorced, it's over, except you want to restart again. It can happen. It can happen. There's nothing that cannot happen. It can happen. People who have been divorced can come back together if they choose to walk through their differences. If they choose to walk through everything that they attempted to hide under the rug. So if you are listening to me now, and the voices of shame and blame are always stressing your existence, I am here to let you know that those voices are not as powerful as you think they are. You are the one giving them life. so you can afford to strangle and suffocate them now. How? By saying to yourself every time the voices show up that even though I failed at my relationship, I am not a failure. Failure is an event. Failure is not a person. I failed at my relationship, yes, but I am not a failure. I'm experiencing a separation or a divorce, but I am not a failure. Failure is an event. Anybody can fail at anything. You can fail at a relationship, you can fail at a business, you can fail at a job, you can fail at an interview, you can fail at any level. Failure is an event. Failure is not a person. The problem starts when you try to start personalizing and embodying failure. Separate your failures from your person. 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 Nothing on earth is easy. Being single is hard. Being in a relationship is not easy. Being married is not easy. Going through a divorce or a separation is not easy. Living is not easy. Dying is not easy. Have you tried to check the cost of a coffin? You will live. I'm telling you, to be cremated is also not easy. Nothing is easy on earth. Nothing. So today you are going to learn how to separate your failures from your person. Stop wearing your failures as a badge of honor. You are not a divorcee. You had a divorce. There are two different English words. You are not a divorcee. You simply experienced a divorce. Stop using your failure as an ID card or an identification badge. You had a divorce. You are not a divorcee. You failed at a relationship. You are not a failure. All of us, we fail at something. We all do not succeed. We all cry. We all weep. We all go through stuff. We all get heartbroken somewhere or the other. We all get disappointed. Nobody is perfect. So stop making it look like you are the only one going through stuff. You are not the only one going through stuff. I go through fear also. I was on the plane when I was boarding from the United Kingdom to the United States last weekend. And as we were on the runway, the pilot announced, oh, there's a technical problem. And my mind went straight to a plane crash, and I started combing my hair and using my lip gloss. And then it occurred to me that if you die in a plane crash, you're not even going to look pink. They have to be looking for your body. So I had to tell God, in all that you are doing, please preserve my fluffy life. I had to tell my Father in the Lord that in all that you're doing, please preserve my fluffy life. You are not a failure. You failed at something. You are not a divorcee. You experienced a divorce. Stop identifying with your failure. Stop personalizing your failure. Stop embodying your failure. Stop listening to the voices of blame and shame. Those voices are permanent. They are there to always remind you that you're not good enough. When you're struggling in a relationship, the voices will show up. When you're single, the voices will show up. When you're parenting, the voices will show up. When you do not have children, the voices will show up. The voices are permanently there, but you have to permanently show up to defend your existence on earth. I am more than my relationship. I am more than my parenting. I am more than my job. I am more than my passport. I am more than the amount of money in my account. I am who I say that I am, and I am everything I think that I am and more. Stop allowing your experiences to define you. There are so many people going through a separation and a divorce or in a funny relationship, and because of that, it is affecting their esteem. Hell no. It takes two people to make something work. If one person is not interested, there's nothing you can do. A woman cannot build a house a man is committed to destroy. So please take it easy on yourself. Remove that garment of shame. Remove that garment of blame. That garment of you thinking you are not good enough, it would not step into September with you. You know my job is to help you strip off the damn shame every time that I encounter you. Enough of you being a professional, and because you are divorced, you can't lift your head high. You can't attend family meetings. You can't hang out with your friends. You can't be who you used to be. Because of what? Are you serious right now? Hell no. Whether you are a marriage therapist and your marriage is off the roof, you have a right to keep talking. Yes, I know culture wants you to keep quiet. I know culture will say, oh, you don't have a right, you're not happily married. You have your stories on how your marriage failed, and because of that, your voice is needed and necessary. So if you are listening to me today, you are a marriage coach or a marriage therapist, and you do not have a marriage, you have a life. So keep sharing your stories. Keep sharing your stories. Keep sharing your stories. There are too many people out there, especially women, who have low self-esteem because of the quality of their relationship, or because they no longer have a relationship. Some can't even go to their worship centers, whether churches or mosque or anywhere. They bow to a supreme being. Not on my watch. You are going to show up at your worship center with your best perfume, and you are going to dance all over again because you have something called a second chance form. Fill the form and submit it to your designer and your maker and restart your life. Relationships end, life end, and it means absolutely nothing. How can you be ashamed that you are single? Are you serious right now? Are you ashamed that you are alive? How can you be ashamed that you are separated or divorced? So what? So you are separated or divorced. Yes. Can we start again? Can we go for therapy? Can we reach out for help? You want to stay in that zone forever? And then your partner has gone to remarry, you are still hanging the garment of shame on the line, and you are pegging it? Hell no. If you do not have children, you have a right to exist. There's no garment of shame on you. Strip off the damn shame. Anyone who wants to laugh at you is not happy in life. Anyone who wants to mock you is not happy in life. Go and tell them that I said so. You cannot be mocking other people and say you are happy in life. Yeah, it's not true. Somebody like me is trained for that. There's a level of emptiness in you that makes you be the voice of mockery. Are you normal? Is everything okay upstairs? You've given too many people power over you, man. People are mocking you for not having a child or not having a male child, or they're mocking you for being single, or they're mocking you for being separated or divorced, and so you can't show up again. Oh, because people are going to say this, they're going to say that. Are you serious right now? Lift up your heads, oh ye goddamn gate, that ED will come in. Do you understand? Nobody mocks you for not dying. But they are there to mock when you fail at something. Every time the voices of shame and blame want to show up, remind yourself, I failed at a relationship, but I am not a failure. I am not a failure. I am not a failure. We all fail. We all fail. We all fail. I'm not one of your role models that will pretend that she's got it all together. I do not get it. I don't have it all together, and I'm not your damn role model. Yeah, I'm not available to be worshipped and all those things. No. I'm just here to let you know that you need to strip off the shame. If you're a gentleman, whatever is happening to you, whether you have money or not, you are more than what is in your bank account today. A phone call, a text message, an email, whatever it is, as long as you're diligent, seeth a man diligent in his work, he will stand before kings. Your responsibility is to be diligent. God's responsibility is to market and distribute you. Do you understand? Your responsibility is to be diligent. God's responsibility is to be your marketer and your distributor. He is your PR. He cannot, however, market and distribute you if you are not diligent. So if you are a fraudster or you're cutting corners or you're sabotaging other people, there's no distribution for you. Yeah, God is not corrupt. So if you're listening to me today and there's something going on in your relationship, two options. Work at it as long as your partner is committed to partner with you on the journey. That thousands of marriage therapists available to serve you. But if you have already terminated the contract and you are separated and you are divorced, then it is time to restart your life. There are too many pretty, beautiful women with good souls, good women who are divorced. Not everyone who is divorced is badly behaved or is a terrible person, whether male or female. No. Life happens, shit happens. And the heart of man is desperately wicked. Sometimes you just didn't know some things you were supposed to know somehow. And you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for missing the red flags. Forgive yourself for making excuses. Forgive yourself for assuming the messianic nature where you thought, oh, I can change him. Oh, if I love him so well, if I loved her so well, she's going to be who I want her to be. If I give him so much sex or give him so much sex or whatever that is, oh, he's just going to fall in my arms and all that. Forgive yourself for thinking you can change a human being. You made a mistake already. Are you going to hang yourself to your report card of 5-10 years ago? Are you going to keep nailing yourself and keep saying you are not worthy? Are you going to keep saying you are not good enough? The gentleman has moved on, the lady has moved on. Even if they haven't moved on, you got to move on. We're in the 9th month of the year. You've been crucifying yourself since this happened. You've forgiven everybody but yourself. Anybody can go through anything. People become disabled. People have terminal illnesses. People lose their children, lose their spouses, lose their siblings and parents. Like, life happens. And then one thing happened to you, which is your relationship. Painful. I know, I agree. Disturbingly painful. It looks like a dark tunnel. I get it. But the question I have for you today is, it happened 10 years ago. It happened 5 years ago. It happened a year ago. When are we going to say, though I failed at my relationship, though I do not have a relationship anymore, I still have a relationship with myself, with my life? You can't afford to stop living. You can't afford to extinguish your beauty and your soul. You can't afford to have the garment of shame and blame all over you. No. You can't afford to think, oh, you are no longer that sweet and solid person. You are. You are pressed down, shaken together, running over. Your value remains the same today, yesterday, and forever, because the one who created you is value. Strip off the shame. And if you have not gone through therapy, this is the time to go through therapy. Some of you are saying, oh no, I don't need therapy, this and that. You need therapy just like you need toothpaste to brush your teeth, brush your emotions, brush your pain, brush your heart. Stop giving excuses to keep identifying with your pain. There are some people who are so in love with their pain that they don't want you to strip off that pain, because once you strip off the pain, they don't know who they are again. They've identified so much with that pain that once you strip off that garment of shame and pain, they can't find themselves. No way. If you haven't gone to therapy after your separation or your divorce, I'm pulling my ear for you now. Go and send that therapist a DM. Ask for a payment plan. I am pulling my ear. If you are Nigerian, you will know the meaning. Maybe Africans can know. Africans, do you know? Let me know. If you are listening to me from any part of Africa, let me know. I'm pulling my ear for you now. It means, can you hear me? Send that therapist a DM now. You want to carry this weight into 2024? Send that therapist a DM now. Go and pay or ask for a payment plan and honor the payment plan. Don't go and act unfortunate, because some of you are very strange. Don't go and act unfortunate. Don't let me woze you from the spirit realm. You cannot be following me and be buried in shame and blame. I spend hours every week investing in you and saying to you, no matter where you are not going to put on the garment of shame and blame. There's no duvet that will cover you in shame and blame. Thank you, Ese and Nike. I see you people and T-Pumps. I'm holding my ear. If you haven't gone for therapy after your separation or a divorce, go and send that therapist a DM now. Go and pay or ask for a payment plan. Stop showing up at work with the garment of shame. And I don't want people to know that I'm divorced. You are still wearing your ring. No. The one that wants to marry you will think you are still married. There are good men and good women out there waiting to love you. And while they are loving you, don't be unfortunate. When you are with a good person, remove in fact, deliver yourself. Go for exorcism by yourself. Because some of you need exorcism, deliverance. Sometimes the deliverance can be somewhere just giving you headbutt. It's not even pouring oil. Mrs. FFO, my money is with you. You think I will forget? My money is with you. Nike, you cannot be a therapy dropout. Nike, you cannot be a therapy dropout. Your soul is too precious for that. Some of you need exorcism, and the exorcism is headbutt, bow, forehead to forehead, because you have wasted anointing oil. They've used it, it's not working. God is working, but your head is too big. You're very stubborn. Sometimes it is headbutt. If I say slap now, it will look like violence, but headbutt is okay. Sometimes it's you facing the naughty corner and sleeping there. You cannot follow me and it will not be well with you. It's not possible, except something's wrong with you. Every spirit of portable must come out. Every spirit of wala must come out. How can you be wearing designer shirts and you are acting like an emotional tout? Every spirit of wala, it must come out of you. Every spirit of shame and blame. Nike, you cannot be a therapy dropout. Go and finish school. You know, it's very funny to me that sometimes people go to college for 4 years. They invest 4 years in a degree they may not need. Then they go for master's degree or their PhD or something. But the least person will most likely have 4 years for their first degree, which is a BSc or what you call it. But the irony of it is you don't want to spend 4 weeks or 8 weeks at therapy. You can invest 4 years in a school filled with cult members and badly behaved people, but you cannot invest 4 weeks or 8 weeks in what will change your life. And I'm just wondering what's going on. I spend an average of $40,000, $50,000 on personal development every year. Every year I buy books on Amazon, I pay for coaching, I pay for therapy, I still pay for stuff. You think I just show up here to speak English? As I heal, I spread the healing. Go and pay for therapy. If you don't know what to pay for, come and join my event starting on Saturday, the Relationship Hurt. Let's help you heal. Relationship Hurt. If you're separated or a divorce, send me a DM on the Relationship Hurt. Come and join. It is for 2 months, every Saturday, 2 hours every Saturday for the next 9 Saturdays. It's starting this Saturday. It's $1,444. It's not for everybody. You are so sweet, you are so sound, so solid, but you are easily triggered. And when they trigger you like this, you are like an ambulance. Wow, 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 wow. You just be shouting. But you know that it is no longer you that lives. It is the trigger that is living in you. In shout, you live, you move, you have your being. What's going on? When are you going to start living your fluffy and soft life? When will they love you? When will you tell people to leave you alone and not harass your life? I bear upon me the mark of God. Don't stress me. If you stress me, I will tell you. I will tell you straight up. Don't do it again. We're not fighting nothing. We're just telling each other what's going on part time. Emotional GPS. So if you are listening to me today, you haven't gone for therapy after your separation or a divorce, go and send a DM to that therapist now. Go and pay or ask for a payment plan. Don't you want to be well with you? Did you drop out of college? Why are you dropping out of therapy? If you don't like your therapist, change the person. But go and attend therapy. Go and stay there. There's no shortcut anywhere. Go and stay there. Go and heal the generational pain. Go and heal the disappointment, the lack of expectation management, the sexual disorder, the emotional abuse, the sexual abuse, the pain, the violence, emotional violence, whatever it is. Go and drop it at the feet of professionalism. No matter how many skits you watch, you will not be healed. Comedy does not do emotional healing. No matter how many entertainments you go to, that you go and twerk and do amapiano, you will not be healed. Go and get your healing. It's like a pilot saying, I learned pilots from YouTube. Are you serious? If a surgeon told you that he learned surgery from YouTube, will you lie down there like a living sacrifice? No matter how many times you laugh at people's jokes, your pain is still there. So let's stop pretending. The coping mechanism cannot be TikTok. It cannot be Twitter. It cannot be skits. You know every skit maker. You are running from something. You know it. You are trying to conceal the emptiness. No matter how many times you laugh, your pillow knows when you cry. So let's have the conversation. Go and send that therapist a DM now. Some of you are very stubborn. I'm pulling my ear. Go now. Now. I'll be calling your names as school principal now. Some of you are very, 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 very stubborn. You are like a principality to yourself. How can you be the weapon formed against yourself? What's going on? You people will be binding enemies. You are the one that is bound. As I'm holding my ear now, it's called alele. It's called oya. If I close my eye and open it, that's what it's called. Go and send that DM. Go and send that DM. You are crying every day. Wipe your tears and go and send that therapist a DM. God sent me to you now. He has wiped your tears. Now go and send the DM. If you have a sexual problem, you shall pay to get a sexual coach like Mrs. FFOye. Do you cry when they say you have low sperm count? Who to go and look for how to do parachute? If it's about sex, you will be buying sex toys, everything sex. Well, 50 shades of sex. Go and pay for therapy the same way you buy condom. Domitila Republic, I am pulling my ear now. I will not allow you not to send that DM before September 1st. Since January, you have been talking about your separation and divorce. Some of you are single because every relationship you get into, you sabotage it. Before the relationship starts, you have ended it. Once they say hello like this, your triggers come up and you start thinking, all men are scum. We are 8 billion in this world. Let's even say 3.5 billion are men. You want to tell me that 3.5 billion humans are scum, including your father and your brothers? Are you serious? No. Once they say hello, you break the relationship. It has not started. It's not a greeting. No. Go and pay for therapy. Come and join Relationship Hot. Send me a DM. Relationship Hot. Just put it in my DM. I want to join Relationship Hot. And the good thing about healing is it increases your income. That's the good thing. Nick, have you sent the DM to the person? Because I will soon call you out now. Have you sent the DM? There are some of you here that you are supposed to be in people's DM now. Go and romance me. Go and romance healing. Exorcism. Let them exorcise you. And cast out every stubbornness. You are too cute to be carrying one heavy duty pain like you want to check in your luggage. Every month you are coming with 23 kg, checking your luggage. You have 223 kg of pain, you have 10 kg as hand luggage of pain. Every month your pain is 100 kg. Some of you even enter business class with the pain. September is the 9th month. You are going to abandon this pain. You hear? The same way you buy food, you will go and buy wisdom. That's what the Bible says. Buy wisdom. Buy wisdom. If you are looking for orgasm, there are orgasm distributors, sex coaches. People know them by name, especially men. Go and buy wisdom. This month is my birthday month. People like me were born in September. Very fluffy lives. If you stress us, we will inform you. Oh, stress me. Carry your bad behavior away. September babies, very fresh, very sweet. Very sweet souls, sexy human beings, intelligent and beautiful and deep. We are carnal and spiritual at the same time. Well balanced. So if you are listening to me today, that voice of shame and that voice of blame that wants to strangle you, you have to say to yourself, I failed at a relationship. I am not a failure. I failed at a relationship, but I am not a failure. You are not your pain. You are not your failures. You are not anything that has happened to you. What happened to you happened to you. But your value and your self-worth are still intact. Don't let any culture strip you of dignity. Stop stripping yourself of dignity. Lift your head high. If you are no longer in a relationship, don't bother to wear a ring. Thank you, Ese, for buying the badge. Don't bother to wear a ring. Stop pretending. If you are single, don't wear a ring. Don't let them think that, oh, if I wear a ring, they will respect me more. If they don't respect you, they are not respectful. Simple. Anybody who cannot respect you with or without a ring is not a respectful soul. Don't go and be buying 2,000 naira ring to be deceiving anybody. Don't go and buy cancer. It's not their business whether you are married or single. You are a professional, stay professional. What do you need my private life for? Are we having private discussions? We're having professional discussions. Why are you looking for my private life? Bishop T.D. Jakes had an event for about 30 years. Woman that were loosed. Is T.D. Jakes a woman? How did T.D. Jakes know when women are being loosed? Does he have experience in losing women? Has he been loosed? How successful was he? Very successful. Because of the anointing of God. Nobody came out to question T.D. Jakes as a man. Nobody came out. I never saw it. Nobody said, how did T.D. Jakes do woman that were loose for about 30 years? Is T.D. Jakes a woman? Nobody. But when other people want to do it, they'll be singing songs of blame and shame. Don't answer them. Bishop TJ was called and is called and anointed to do what he's doing. Thank you, Rachel, for buying the badge. So don't let anybody stress you. His daughter also has an interesting story, Sarah Jakes. SJR, Sarah Jakes Robert. And the Spirit of God is upon her. There are so many people. David had the Spirit of God. A man after God's own heart said, with a serious badge. What have you done? One relationship. And because of that, you want to die by suicide. Say, my relationship, I'm a marriage coach and I don't have a marriage. You don't have a marriage today. You can have one next year. You can have one next year. You don't have children today, the 31st of August. You can have one by the 1st of September. You can get pregnant this night. Stop trying to help God. Stop trying to look at it like any single. Stop wearing fake rings. Stop wearing fake rings to say, if they say they will respect me. Anybody who can respect you without a ring should be disrespectful. It's not your headache. Thank you, Nike, for buying the badge. Leave them. Leave them alone. Let them go with their report card of shame and blame. Don't let them project on you. Let them go with their report card. Say, oh, are you married? It's not your business. That's my private life. That is my private, and if nobody's going to tell you, I will tell you. What you came for is professional. That what I learned in school. It's my private life, your business. What experience did Paul have that he was writing about marriages? People will quote Paul in churches, but will be stressing other people. Don't let anybody hang any fragrance or perfume of shame and blame, no matter how sweet smelling it is. Please buy more badges. If you are single, don't go and wear one ring or your marital finger or before the one God called to marry you. We think you are already taken now. Also, people are very funny. You'll be praying to God for boyfriends. All your fingers have rings. We will now not know what's going on. Now you're not saying if they like me, they should ask. Don't deceive yourself. Remove the bloody ring. Remove it. It's not diamond. Remove it. Remove the ring. Go. Let them give you original ring. Let us hear what do. Because some of you have been praying since, and the person who wants to date you is wondering that you alone have two per finger. When you're not Adekunle Gold, Adekunle Gold is even happily married. See him enjoying his life. That's why he can be arranging ring. You better go and marry first before you go and arrange ring. I'm telling you now. Go and look for the marriage ring online. I think that is your left hand, maybe the third one or something like that. Go and look for it before they think that you are taking and you are here. Single in winter, Lord of the Rings. When I say Adekunle Gold is your mentor. Adekunle is happily married though, singing with his wife. Even the daughter herself has joined choir. Because some of you are very funny. Because if I give you head boots now, you will look like somebody is beating you. Stop wearing ring. Stop wearing ring. Let people see your empty hands. I don't know. You people are just even here saying ring, ring, ring. Is the ring diamond? Like, why are you stressing us? Leave the ring alone. Wear ring on your toe. Some of you are all very funny. If you are divorced and you want to remarry, stop wearing ring. Go. Stop wearing ring. Some people don't want to snatch other people's property. They will not come and ask you before you say, are you blind? Can't you see ring on my hand? But some of you are very funny. Are you a skit maker? Remove the ring, put it on your leg. If you like rings, put rings on your leg. Or go and wear waist bead. If you just want to adorn yourself, wear waist bead or something. Anything you want to go and wear. People should just stop stressing angels. Angels that are distributing husband and wife. By the way, some people joined my emotional intelligence for dating class. They are now dating. When I was begging some of you singles to join, you did not answer me. About 2 of them are dating now. Some of you were doing big girls. Now I'm begging you to join Relationship Hot for your healing. Some of you, until I flog you in your sleep, you will not join. Uncle, one day, please come and join Relationship Hot. Send me a DM. It's for 2 months, 9 Saturdays. It's $1,444. You have the money, so don't say I don't have money. You are not broke. I know, I can see it in your eye. You are not broke. All right, darlings, I'll see you some other time. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. I hope it was worth your time. Back to the message. You failed at an event. You failed at a relationship. You are not a failure. Stop allowing culture and the voices of blame and shame clothe you. Stop putting on the garment of shame and blame. Strip off shame and blame and remind yourself you failed at, but you are not a failure. You failed at a relationship, but you are not a failure. See you some other time at the Relationship Heart. I will see you on Saturday. The Relationship Heart. Send me a DM to join the class. All of you that joined on Bob Badges, thank you so much. I love you, and I'll see you next week.